Welcome back. I'm meteorologist Bethany Strong with your weather update. Now, we've had a warm and pretty much dry week, but let's look at what's going on right now. Right now, temperature at 47, dew point's very low, so that's why we're not seeing any precipitation. Humidity is a little high, which makes sense because we're going to be getting precipitation later on this weekend, and the winds coming from the south at 15 miles per hour, bringing that temperature down so it feels like 43, even though it is 47. Now let's look at the bigger picture on why this is going on. Right now we can see those clouds in the area giving us that cloudy sky today that we normally see in Oswego, but it's spreading throughout the northeast. Now this is because of that low pressure system above the Great Lakes, and we're going to have that precipitation this weekend coming in from this cold front that's going to push up. So let's look at our future cast for tonight. We're going to have that rain shower move in and then transition into snow overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. So where this pauses is around 10 a.m. tomorrow. So then throughout tomorrow, we're going to see a chance of some snow showers as long as temperatures at the surface stay below freezing. Now, right now, we're expecting a high of around 38, so some of this will probably not even touch the ground. And looking at Saturday, we also have severe wind gusts occurring. Now, typical winds for this weekend will be around 10 to 15 miles per hour, but gusts are significant, with around 40 for most of central New York, 35 closer to Buffalo, and then 35 toward the north, with Albany and New York City hitting highs around 50 miles per hour. That is insane. Please make sure you stay safe. Don't take an umbrella during the rain. It will probably break and blow away. Now, looking at our weekend planner, with that in mind, Saturday we're going to start at a high of around 38, but the temperature throughout the day will be dropping significantly to around 24 degrees by 5 p.m., with again those heavy gusts and mostly cloudy skies. For Sunday, a high of 12. That's where our congestion comes in. Knows everything. We go from warm weather straight to cold on Sunday, bringing us a chance of snow with that precipitation we saw earlier. And for our 5-day, we see that weekend. Great day for Monday to stay inside and have a nice dinner with your loved one. Tune in for more news and sports.
President Joe Biden is expected to sign an executive order today, freeing up $7 billion from Afghanistan's central bank for aid. Half that money will go to people still living in Afghanistan. Many residents there have been suffering from starvation after the country's government fell and the Taliban took over in August. International assistance has been mostly cut off since then. The other half of the money will go to victims of the September 11 terrorist attacks in the U.S. Those victims have sued to gain access to the funds. Their ongoing litigation will continue. Tensions are rising between Russia and Ukraine. Today, U.S. representatives gathered to address the situation. Now, Joe Biden is asking all U.S. citizens remaining in Ukraine to leave as soon as possible. Biden adds that he will not be sending troops to Moscow to rescue any American citizens if Russia does invade Ukraine. The U.S. Secretary of State says Russia could make their move at any time. Other nations are following suit, banning travel to Ukraine as tensions rise. This includes South Korea, the Netherlands, and Japan. Evacuation orders were lifted Thursday afternoon for residents in the Irvine Cove and Emerald Bay areas of Laguna Beach, California. Hours after a dangerous brush fire threatened homes, fire officials said. The fires cover 150 acres of land and is 10% contained. Approximately 375 firefighters have been battling the flames. 5 helicopters are assisting in the effort. The blaze is caused by unseasonably high temperatures, with highs reaching the 80s and 90s every day. The Orange County Fire Authority Chief Brian Fennessy says that this area has not seen flames this bad since 1993. Demonstrations by Canadian truckers have stretched into their 5th day today. The truckers have blocked the Ambassador Bridge, which connects Ontario, Canada, to Detroit, Michigan, as well as borders crossing in North Dakota and Montana. This demonstration is in protest to Canadian vaccine mandates. The blockage is wreaking havoc on the U.S.-Canadian border, disrupting the flow of auto parts and other products between the two countries. The Canadian government announced yesterday that they will send additional police officers and resources to the borders. The truckers have not shown signs of ending their protests. Coming up next, our friends from the Oswego Humane Society introduces us to the adoptable pet of the week.
Hello and welcome to Weekend Now. I'm your host, Brianna Boateng, here to give you the latest fun in the Oswego community. Public ice skating is back this Saturday at the Crisafulli Ice Skating Rink. Skating is free for city residents, but be sure to bring your own skates. Be sure to head down to the ice skating rink this Saturday or Sunday. Ice rental skating is also available for private events. For more information, be sure to call the phone number 315-342-8167. Again, that's 315-342-8167. Love is in the air as we prepare to celebrate Valentine's Day this weekend. Be sure to head down to Liana's Paint Shop located in the Oswego Canal Commons. The class will be available to everyone of all ages to learn how to paint, connect with others, and to learn more about art and painting. Be sure to head on to their Facebook page to learn more all about the paint classes. The Art Association of Oswego is holding their introductory pottery wheel classes this Sunday, February 13th at 11 a.m. Students will learn how to use the potter's wheel, prepare clay, and create a cylinder. For more information about this art class, head over to their Facebook page, Art Association Oswego Inc., to learn more about the class and other upcoming events held by the incorporation. Winter is the perfect season. To start your own nature walk, join naturalist Jim D'Angelo for an indoor presentation followed by a hike in search of wildlife tracks and traces. The program is free, so be sure to dress warm for the weather. For more information on this, be sure to head to the website iHeartOswego.com. Now it's time for the cutest story of the week, the adoptable pet of the week, brought to you by our friends at the Oswego Humane Society. This week, meet Mushroom. The little kitty is 6 months old and has had an entire family now in need of adoption. To learn more about the rest of Mushroom and her piece of family, you can email info@oswegohumane.org. Coming up, we have your daily dose of good news. We will have more from our keynote speaker this week, Angela Davis.
And coming up in sports, meet the men's hockey player who's been bringing the heat to the ice rink. And the men's basketball team has been dominating this season. Hear what head coach Leon has to say. We'll have that and more right after the break. Welcome back to Oswego Now. My name is Jose Ramirez with your sports report. In our Athlete of the Week spotlight, we have a player who had a big impact this week for Oswego State's men's ice hockey. He was a dominant factor, helping the Lakers towards the tail end of their seven-game win streak. Oswego Now's Hunter Truman reports.
We've all heard the term love at first sight when it comes to relationships. But what about for sports? For Tommy Cahill, our Oswego Athlete of the Week, his fondness for ice hockey started at a very young age. Cahill began on the ice as a toddler figure skating with his sister. That's, of course, before he laid eyes on hockey one day at the rink, and it changed everything.
I guess my mom said I couldn't get my eyes out of the other end, so one day she brought me to start playing hockey. I think I was maybe 4 years old or so, and I guess ever since then I've just had a passion for it.
When Cahill entered college at Miami University in Ohio, he stopped playing hockey. After a while, he realized the hole that was left in his life from the lack of the sport.
And I guess being there without the game is kind of what realized how much I loved and missed the game. And ever since I left that school, I had intentions of trying to get on a collegiate hockey team.
Cahill made his way to Oswego after transferring from King College in 2021, where Coach Gosick immediately noticed the intangible qualities that make him a great player.
You know, he persevered. He stuck it out, kept working, kept a good attitude. Even when he wasn't in the lineup, he was very positive with the guys. So you love to see those guys get rewarded. And I think his confidence is, he's gained confidence. He's playing well, and he's got some results to show for it.
The junior racked up 3 goals and an assist in games against SUNY Cortland and SUNY Brockport. Cahill, alongside the rest of the men's hockey team, currently hold a 16-5-1 record and sit in second in the SUNYAC Conference. With 2 games left in the regular season schedule left to go, they hope to ride the momentum into the SUNYAC quarterfinals as a top seed. From the Deborah F. Stanley Arena and Convocation Hall, I'm Hunter Truman, Oswego Now Sports.
The men's ice hockey team will play again next week at Fredonia State. The Lakers men's basketball team has been dominating the season with an undefeated streak. After defeating SUNY Potsdam and Plattsburgh, the Lakers have a 17-game win streak. With this undefeated run, the Lakers landed on the number 14 spot on the top 25 national poll for Division III. Head coach Jason Leone hopes this can be kept up throughout the season.
The recognition, but we also have a maturity about us where we understand really it's not where you start but where you finish. So I'm more concerned with what our ranking is after the season's over than what I am during the season.
That makes sense. The team currently has a total of 20 game wins this season. The Lakers defend their streak once again tonight. The big game is coming this Sunday, and Super Bowl parties are a tradition. But having one this year may be more costly than usual. Isabel Rosales has what experts say is behind the surging prices in everyday goods.
Your Super Bowl party this 2022 may be the most expensive one you've ever hosted.
Well, I expect to see the biggest Super Bowl spending ever because we have the largest economy ever.
Wells Fargo added it all up. Chief agricultural economist Michael Swanson says that price tag could be 14% higher than last year. The most expensive item is meat.
Proteins are what's really packing the punch for inflation.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, prices for both fresh and frozen chicken wings are up nearly 12%. Ground beef is 13% higher, and steaks soared 17% over last year. Soda is up more than 9% more for a 12-pack of 12-ounce cans compared to 2021. And beer is up nearly 6%, according to BLS data. And guacamole will cost you too. Bloomberg found exporting Hass avocados from Mexico costs nearly 25% more than last year. So what's behind the rising costs? Experts blame high demand, labor shortages, and the ongoing supply chain issues. Grocery owners say they're often forced to pass along the pain to consumers when the companies they buy products from increase prices.
Like our ranchers out in Kansas, they would love to run the packing plant 6 days a week right now, but they are on 5 days a week. They don't have enough workers.
To trim costs, experts recommend your game day spread is loaded with potentially lower price options like veggies and fruits. Also, buy items in bulk and go with cheaper generic or store name brands. I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
Regardless, you can catch the Super Bowl this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. That's all for your sports report. Now, back to Peyton.
A renowned author, teacher, leader, and political activist for over 50 years made a visit to SUNY Oswego this week. This professional had a lot to share about her life experiences at the celebration. Davis is deeply involved in movements that fight for economic, racial, and gender justice. She is known for work.
A kind of individualism that militates against individuality.
Davis is deeply involved in movements that fight for economic, racial, and gender justice. She is known for working with Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and other profound leaders. After being on FBI's most wanted list and spending over a year in prison, contributing over 10 books, and being a professor at multiple universities, Davis continues to fight for equality. Davis says the fight for freedom must come from all race and age groups, but she does have hope for America's future generations.
I think that all we can ever really do is to make sure that coming generations take up this struggle.
Alumni, faculty, and staff came together to celebrate. Aside from Angela Davis as the keynote speaker, the event featured live performances, readings, poetry, and more. Well, that's all we have for you tonight, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Oswego Now. Stay tuned for next week. Have a good night.